So I hear the two of you may have differences of opinions on this one. You ready for it? Here's the question. How do you best find the right level of detail for stories, epics, all the stuff that goes in your product backlog? How do you know when it's too big? I mean, these are basic questions, but I know you have different thoughts.
Rob, you go first.
Under the bus with you. So I'm gonna do what any good Scrum trainer says and say, put it back on the team. But let me add some more color to that. So the team knows when something is too big. Your developers are gonna go, hey, Egghead, this is like 6 months of work. What's the real problem we're solving here? Let's find some chunk we can bite off and quickly deliver on and start learning from it. And so you want to put that to the developers. So one practice I happen to like, and I know not everyone does, is this idea of a definition of ready. And so you're going to start by saying, hey, is this thing too big to fit into a sprint? And if it is, you're going to want to find a way to break it up. And you can get real specific on a definition of ready, and we don't really have time to go into it right now, but the main idea is you're teaching the developers to find little pieces of value that can be delivered, done, and tested within a very short amount of time. And so look at that practice, definition of ready, and get your developers engaged to help you figure out what a ready product backlog item looks like so that you can get more work done in a sprint, and sprint planning goes a little smoother.
Yeah, I do disagree a little bit on the definition of ready. Not that I think it's a bad idea. I've used it. I've recommended it. Sometimes I still recommend it. So, maybe our disagreement's a little oversold here. I've backed off of it in recent years because I've seen it misused. I've seen definition of ready sort of weaponized against the product owner and be like, well, we don't have all our questions answered, or we don't have perfect clarity on this thing. Like any tool, it can be misused, and so it doesn't mean you should throw out the tool just because of potential misuse. But what I think is really important to do is to whittle down at a product backlog item to get it to be the smallest it can possibly be. Don't build a shopping cart. Break that down to smaller pieces. Add to cart, checkout, take payment. If there are things if there's ways you can make it smaller and still deliver usable value, that's almost always a win. The smaller you break it down, the more flexible you are in terms of being able to deliver value. So if a definition of ready helps you get there, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it, but I probably wouldn't start there. What do you think, Greg?
How about I just avoid the whole idea of definition of ready altogether and just simply say, hey, when it comes to, here's Switzerland talking, right? When it comes to something that is ready for a sprint, it needs to be small enough to be worked on within the sprint and completed within the sprint, and we have to understand what the heck we need to do. Now, I'm going to simplify things and propose that there's typically in Scrum teams 2 types of work. I know there can be 3 types, but let's go with complicated and let's go with complex. So with complicated work, there is known solutions. But the thing is, if Jason's going to do the work, I'm going to do the work, and Rob's going to do the work, we might have 3 different approaches. You know what? You take the approach that works for you. There's a good practice or a excellent practice that's not a best practice. That's complicated work. And if that's the situation, you probably have a pretty good idea of when it's ready because we're all on the same page. Complexity, it's a little bit different. When we have unknowns, we got to give some space for something to be discovered. That means less precision to understanding is going to be the case, but we still have a high degree of confidence that we can get it done within a sprint. So that's what I'm going to throw out there.
I still like definition of ready. I don't care what you guys think.
Hey there. So if you're here and this is your first time, and you're interested in growing in your agility and understanding things like Scrum and other Agile topics, then be sure to get started by hitting that subscribe button and also that bell. You're going to get notifications, and I don't want you to miss out on a thing.